Life is not always easy. In fact, it's often filled with challenges that can bring us pain. Whether it's physical, emotional, or mental, pain comes into our lives unexpectedly. It might feel like an obstacle at first, something we wish we could escape. But what if, instead of complaining about it, we could learn to enjoy it? I know that might sound strange, but stay with me for a moment. When we stop complaining about the pain we experience, we begin to see it in a new light. Pain is not the enemy, it's a powerful tool that shapes us. It's a sign that you are growing, evolving, and becoming stronger than you were before. Every ounce of pain you endure is a testament to your resilience. It's teaching you something about who you are and who you're becoming. We've all heard the phrase, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger," and while it may seem cliche, it holds a lot of truth. Pain stretches you. It forces you to look deeper within yourself and ask, what am I made of? And in answering that question, you uncover parts of yourself you didn't know existed. But here's the catch: your mindset determines how you experience that pain. You can either choose to complain, to focus on the hurt and frustration, or you can choose to embrace the lesson, the strength, and the growth that comes with it. The choice is always yours. When you stop complaining and start enjoying the journey, pain, and all, you open yourself up to greater possibilities. You learn to face challenges with confidence, knowing that each step forward, even when it's hard, is a step closer to the person you're meant to be. Pain is not a roadblock, it's part of the path. Every time you push through, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. So I encourage you, the next time you're facing pain, take a moment to pause. Don't rush to escape it. Instead, ask yourself what it's teaching you. Recognize that you are in the process of becoming stronger, more resilient, and more prepared for the life you are building. Pain is a sign of progress, not failure. Pain is an undeniable part of life. It's something that we all face, whether it comes in the form of heartbreak, failure, loss, or physical discomfort. It feels like a burden we must bear, often leaving us questioning why we have to go through it. The truth is, pain is not something we can always avoid, and it's certainly not something that can be wished away. But here's the important thing to understand: pain is also a powerful agent of growth. It is in our most difficult and painful moments that we experience the most significant transformation. When we are in pain, whether emotional or physical, it often feels like we are at our weakest. The natural instinct is to resist it, to complain about it, or to wish for a way out. But the real lesson lies in what we do when we face pain. When we embrace the pain and allow ourselves to go through it rather than running from it, we open the door to growth. Pain is not just an obstacle, it is a teacher, a guide that can show us the way to becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Consider this: growth doesn't happen in moments of comfort. You don't grow when everything is easy, when you are coasting through life without facing any challenges. Real growth happens when you are pushed beyond your limits, when you are stretched in ways you never imagined. Think about physical growth. Muscles don't grow when you're resting, they grow when you push them to the brink of exhaustion, when you challenge them to lift heavier weights, to endure longer periods of exertion. It is in this stress and strain that muscles tear and rebuild stronger than before. Similarly, emotional and mental growth happens in the face of adversity. It is when we experience heartbreak, disappointment, or failure that we are forced to confront ourselves. We have the opportunity to ask ourselves tough questions, and in doing so, we discover what we are truly made of. If we never faced pain, we would never have the opportunity to find this inner strength, this deep resilience that exists within us. In those moments when we feel like we cannot take any more, that is when we are most likely to tap into a new level of ourselves that we didn't know existed. Pain also teaches us about our limitations and our capacity for endurance. It helps us understand where our boundaries are, and it provides us with the chance to expand those boundaries. Every time you push through a painful experience, you learn something new about your own resilience. You discover that you can endure more than you thought. Each time you face a new challenge, you realize that you are capable of greater things than you imagined. Pain forces us to go beyond what we thought we were capable of, and in the process, we stretch ourselves further than we would have ever done in a world without pain. But perhaps one of the most powerful things pain does is that it helps us to appreciate the good times, the times of peace and joy, so much more. Without experiencing hardship, we cannot fully understand or appreciate the value of happiness, peace, or success. It is when we have walked through pain that we can fully embrace the beauty of joy. When we face and conquer our pain, we gain a deeper appreciation for the moments when things are easy. We learn to celebrate the small victories because we know how hard they were to achieve. In the end, pain is not a sign that we are broken. It's a sign that we are alive and evolving. It's a signal that we are doing the work, stepping out of our comfort zones, and engaging in the process of becoming. If you can shift your perspective and stop seeing pain as something to be avoided, you will begin to understand that it is, in fact, one of your greatest allies. Pain shows us our strength, teaches us resilience, and encourages us to grow in ways we could never have anticipated. The way we choose to perceive and respond to pain is one of the most powerful factors in how we experience it. Often we view pain as an enemy, something that we need to avoid or escape at all costs. It's a natural reaction. Pain makes us uncomfortable. It disrupts our peace, and it forces us to confront difficult emotions or situations. But what if we could change our perspective and instead see pain as a valuable teacher, a necessary part of our journey toward growth and success? What if we could learn not to fear pain, but to embrace it as an opportunity? Shifting your perspective on pain means reframing the way you view challenges and discomforts. Instead of seeing pain as a setback, you can begin to see it as a stepping stone. Every struggle you face is an invitation to become better, to learn something new about yourself, and to uncover strength you didn't know existed. When you shift your mindset, you begin to look at life's difficulties not as insurmountable obstacles, but as powerful experiences that can propel you forward. One of the first steps in shifting your perspective is to stop identifying with the pain. So often, we define ourselves by the struggles we face, allowing them to become part of our identity. For example, if you're going through a period of emotional pain, you might tell yourself, "I am broken," or "I am a failure." This identification with pain traps you in a mindset where you cannot move forward. Instead, if you can detach yourself from the pain and see it as something that is simply happening, rather than something that defines who you are, you create space for growth. Viewing pain from this new angle also allows you to approach life with a greater sense of acceptance. Life is not always going to go the way we expect, and pain is an inevitable part of the human experience. Rather than resisting it or complaining when it arrives, we can learn to accept it as part of the journey. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation or passivity. It means recognizing that pain is temporary and that it has something valuable to offer. It's a temporary season, a phase in the broader story of your life. When you embrace this reality, you free yourself from the grip of fear and anxiety that often accompanies pain. Instead of worrying about how to avoid it, you become curious about how you can grow from it. Another important aspect of shifting your perspective is recognizing that pain is often a catalyst for transformation. It's when things are hardest that we are most likely to discover what we are truly capable of. Think about it. When everything is going smoothly, we rarely ask ourselves the tough questions or push ourselves to grow. But in times of pain, we are forced to confront ourselves and ask, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to become a better version of myself? These moments of introspection and self-questioning often lead to the most profound breakthroughs. Pain can also teach us patience. In a world where we are accustomed to instant gratification, waiting for pain to subside can be a lesson in endurance. The process of healing, whether it's emotional, mental, or physical, requires time. Pain doesn't always go away quickly, and sometimes the hardest part is learning how to live with it while we wait for it to heal. This is where patience becomes a valuable skill. The more you practice patience in the face of pain, the more you realize that discomfort doesn't have to control you. You can weather the storm, knowing that it will pass and that you will emerge stronger on the other side. By shifting your perspective on pain, you begin to see it as an essential part of the human experience, not something to be feared or avoided. Pain is a teacher guiding you toward growth and self-awareness. When you approach life with the understanding that challenges and discomforts are not punishments but opportunities for transformation, you free yourself from the cycle of complaining and resistance. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to ask, "What can I learn from this?" And in that shift, you open the door to resilience, wisdom, and ultimately a deeper sense of fulfillment. When we face pain, we are often confronted with the question of how to respond. The instinct for many of us is to resist, to complain, or to attempt to avoid it altogether. However, in doing so, we miss out on one of the most powerful aspects of pain, the opportunity to build resilience. Resilience is not just the ability to bounce back after a setback, it is the inner strength that allows us to endure, adapt, and grow in the face of adversity. When we refuse to complain and instead focus on enduring the pain with grace and determination, we begin to develop this vital quality of resilience that serves us throughout life. Resilience is built through experience, and experience is often shaped by the pain and challenges we face. In fact, it is in the hardest moments of life that our resilience is tested and forged. Imagine a muscle that grows stronger every time it is pushed to its limits. Just as lifting weights creates small tears in muscle fibers that then rebuild stronger, facing adversity in life tears at our limitations, challenging our boundaries, and ultimately making us stronger. Without the stress, strain, and challenges, there is no opportunity for growth. When you endure pain without complaining, you begin to build this emotional, mental, and even physical resilience that will serve you in every area of life. The process of building resilience requires a shift in mindset. It's about recognizing that pain is not a permanent condition, it is a temporary part of the journey. When we endure hardship, we are not stuck in that moment forever. Rather, we are in the process of transformation. Just as a seed has to push through the soil to reach the light, we too must push through difficult times in order to emerge as stronger versions of ourselves. Resilience is about holding on to hope, even when things seem uncertain, and trusting that the pain you are enduring is leading you to something greater. In addition to building emotional strength, resilience also deepens our sense of self-awareness. When we go through pain, we often question ourselves, our abilities, our worth, our purpose. This questioning can be uncomfortable, but it's also essential for growth. When you endure hardship without complaining, you are forced to confront your vulnerabilities, your fears, and your inner doubts. It's in those moments of confrontation that you discover how much inner strength you truly have. Every challenge you face teaches you something new about your limits, your values, and your capacities. This self-awareness becomes a source of strength as you navigate future challenges, giving you the confidence to know that you can handle whatever comes your way. Furthermore, building resilience through pain fosters a greater sense of empowerment. We often feel powerless in the face of adversity, but when we stop complaining and instead focus on how we can endure and grow, we regain control. Resilience allows us to take responsibility for how we respond to our circumstances, even when we can't control the circumstances themselves. It teaches us that while we may not be able to change the pain we experience, we can control our response to it. By choosing to endure rather than complain, we take back our power and choose to turn our pain into a source of strength. Pain and resilience also go hand in hand in developing our ability to persevere. Resilience is not just about surviving pain, it's about continuing to move forward, even when it feels difficult. It's about finding the courage to take the next step, even when you're uncertain of what lies ahead. When you face pain without complaining, you learn how to keep going, how to stay committed to your goals, and how to stay grounded in your purpose, even in the face of adversity. This perseverance is what carries you through not only difficult times, but also brings you closer to your dreams. Resilience is also a key to thriving in the face of future challenges. The more you build resilience by enduring pain without complaining, the more you equip yourself to handle whatever comes next. Every experience of pain, every obstacle you overcome, prepares you for the future. You develop a toolkit of strategies, strengths, and resources that you can draw upon when new challenges arise. Life will always present difficulties, but with resilience, you have the ability to face them with confidence, knowing that you have overcome challenges before and you can do it again. In the end, building resilience through pain is about transforming your approach to adversity. It's about seeing pain not as something that defeats you, but as something that strengthens you. Every time you endure hardship without complaining, you take another step toward becoming the person you are meant to be. Resilience is not something you are born with, it is something you build step by step through every challenge you face and every pain you endure. It is the foundation of your emotional strength and the key to your ability to thrive no matter what life throws your way. When we face pain, one of the most profound effects it has on us is how it shapes our ability to appreciate the good times. We often take for granted the moments of peace and happiness, especially when everything is going smoothly. But it is only through experiencing hardship that we can truly understand the value of joy. Pain has a unique ability to shift our perspective, helping us recognize the richness of life's blessings when they come. Without pain, without hardship, we might never fully appreciate the beauty and lightness of those fleeting moments when things are easy and calm. Pain serves as a reminder of life's impermanence. When things are difficult, we are forced to confront the reality that nothing lasts forever, whether it's the hard times or the good times. In this sense, pain becomes a teacher of gratitude. When you experience suffering, whether emotional, mental, or physical, it makes you acutely aware of what you are missing. You long for peace, for happiness, and for the comfort of things being normal. But when you finally emerge from that dark period, you see those simple joys with a new lens. The things you once took for granted, whether it's a quiet morning, a simple conversation, or a moment of laughter, suddenly feel precious. You understand their value in a way you never could before the pain. For example, after experiencing loss or heartbreak, we often find that we treasure the people we love even more. We understand just how important they are, how much their presence in our lives matters. Before the pain, we might have been too caught up in the busyness of life to fully appreciate the people around us. Pain strips away distractions and forces us to focus on what truly matters. The same applies to our own well-being. After a period of illness or physical pain, we tend to become more mindful of our health. We cherish the days when we feel strong and capable, recognizing the gift that good health truly is. Another powerful way pain teaches us to appreciate life's blessings is by highlighting the contrast between suffering and relief. It's in the moments of struggle that we begin to understand the true depth of relief and peace. After a period of stress or emotional turmoil, the calm that follows feels like a balm to our soul. We savor moments of quiet, of happiness, because we've been through the storm and we know how difficult it was. Without the experience of hardship, those moments of peace would not feel as deeply satisfying. It's the contrast between the two that makes the joy so sweet. Just like a dark night that gives way to a bright sunrise, the pain we endure magnifies the brightness of better days. Pain also teaches us humility. It reminds us that we are not invincible and that life is not guaranteed to go the way we want. When we are humbled by pain, we become more compassionate toward others. We recognize that everyone is carrying their own burdens, their own struggles, and we begin to value the kindness and support of others. In a way, pain creates a deeper sense of interconnectedness. We realize that we are not alone in our struggles, and we develop a greater appreciation for the love and kindness we receive from those who support us through difficult times. We learn not to take these relationships for granted, but to hold them as sacred, knowing that, just like us, others too experience their own trials. One of the most profound effects of pain is how it allows us to experience personal growth and transformation. Through suffering, we are forced to confront parts of ourselves that we may have been avoiding. We face our fears, our insecurities, and our limitations. This confrontation leads to greater self-awareness and personal development. After overcoming pain, we often emerge with a greater sense of self-confidence and a deeper understanding of who we are. We appreciate the growth that comes from these difficult moments, knowing that they have shaped us into stronger, more resilient individuals. This newfound strength makes the good times feel even more fulfilling. as we realize how much we have evolved. Ultimately, pain teaches us to be present in the moment and appreciate life as it comes. We often get caught up in chasing future goals or reminiscing about the past, but pain forces us to focus on the here and now. It teaches us that every moment, even the painful ones, is part of the bigger picture. The good times, the easy times, are not to be taken for granted. They are a gift, one that is made all the more valuable by the contrast we experience in difficult times. In the end, pain is not something we should try to avoid at all costs. While it is uncomfortable and challenging, it brings with it the opportunity to deeply appreciate life's blessings. Without experiencing pain, we would not be able to recognize the beauty of peace, the preciousness of love, or the value of good health. It's through pain that we come to understand the full spectrum of life, and in doing so, we learn to embrace the good times with an open heart and a deep sense of gratitude. When we choose not to complain and instead focus on enduring our pain, we open ourselves to discovering the strength and growth that can emerge from adversity. Pain has a unique way of sharpening our sense of focus and determination. In moments of hardship, we are often forced to confront our deepest fears, doubts, and limitations, which can be incredibly uncomfortable. Yet, it is in these moments that we find out just how resilient and resourceful we can be. By choosing not to complain, we refuse to be passive victims of our circumstances. Instead, we become active participants in our own transformation. Pain challenges us to push beyond what we thought were our limits and to continue moving forward, even when everything within us may want to quit. It demands that we make a choice to succumb to negativity or to rise to the occasion. The more we endure pain without complaining, the more we discover how much we are capable of handling. With each challenge, we grow stronger, more resourceful, and more equipped to deal with whatever life may throw our way. The strength gained from enduring pain without complaining becomes the foundation of our future success and resilience.